Okay, thank you. So, in the last lecture, we were discussing about this example. Let x1, x2 are independent gamma variable with parameters. Let us say p1 is a shape parameter and alpha is a shape scale parameters, and x2 is also a gamma with the shape parameter p2 and scale parameter alpha respectively. And then I told you that we need to find out the distribution of u, where u is x1 plus x2 and v is a x1 plus x2. And further we show that u and v are independently distributed. So the distribution of u is nothing but the shape parameter p2 and the scale parameter alpha, which is a gamma, and v has the distribution of the beta with the shape parameter p1 p2. So that we have derived in the last lecture, and further I say that please find out the distribution of w equal to x1 plus x2. So we have started with that x1 has the gamma with shape parameter p1 and alpha, x2 has the gamma with shape parameter p2 and the scale parameter alpha, and further it is given that both x1 x2 are independently distributed. So if you write the joint density of x1 x2, because x1 x2 both are independently distributed, we can write f of x1 x2 x1 x2 is equal to f of x1 x1 into f of x1 x2. So x1 has the gamma with the shape parameter alpha and the scale parameter, sorry, shape parameter p1 and scale parameter alpha. Then the density is given by this. And x2 has the gamma with the shape parameter p2 and the scale parameter alpha. Then density is given by this. So just we have made the simplification, and after simplification, our aim is to obtain what is the distribution of x1 plus x2. So and we have given v equal to x1 plus x1 upon x1 plus x2. So just make a transformation. V is equal to, you can write x1 equal to x1 plus x2 into v. But what is x1 plus x2? It is given u. So x1 is a uv, and if you substitute x1 equal to uv into this particular, so you can get x2 equal to u minus x1 equal to u minus uv, that is u into 1 minus v. So it is a two variables. So of course we have to find out the Jacobian of a two variables, that is x1 equal, where x1 is uv and x2 is equal to u into 1 minus 1. So this is a Jacobian of x1 x2 to uv. Okay. So this is nothing but the Jacobian, we obtain this, and the finally it is nothing but the minus u, and absolute value of j is a u. So just substitute the density of f to find the joint density of fuv. Of course, we have to write the joint density of x1 x2. Wherever x1 we have to replace x1 by uv, and wherever the x2 we have to replace it by u into 1 minus v into the Jacobian, that is u du. So just make a simplification. You can obtain you can keep all the u terms together and v terms together, so you can have the u term function is something like that: alpha raised to p1 plus p2 upon gamma p1 plus p2 into u raised to p1 plus p2 minus 1 e raised to minus alpha u. And if here what happened, we have just divide by p1 plus p2 gamma, so that multiply this. Okay, so this is nothing but the gamma p1 plus p2, p1 gamma p1 and gamma p2 over here, and this is v raised to p1 minus 1, 1 minus v raised to p2 minus 1. So this is nothing but the form of the gamma distribution with shape parameters p1 plus p2 and scale parameter alpha. And this is a form of the beta type 1 distribution, because for that you can write it is a 1 upon beta p1 plus p2, and v raised to p1 minus 1, 1 minus v p2 minus 1. It is nothing but the beta type 1 with the shape parameter p1 p2. So that was we wish to prove, that u has the this distribution and v has a u has a gamma with p1 plus 2, and the beta has the So we were obtaining the distribution of W. Okay. Okay. I think we have derived up to this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what is our aim? Our aim is that we wish to find out the distribution of W equal to x1 upon x2. Okay. So what is x1? We know that x1 is nothing but uv, and what is x2? It is nothing but u into 1 minus v. So this u will be cancelled out. So that means we are interested to find out the distribution of w equal to v into 1 minus v. So because we have given the distribution of u and v, so what is the distribution of v? Distribution of v is nothing but the beta. Find one having the shape parameters or the having the parameters p1 and p2. So we can just transform. We have given that v minus v upon 1 minus v is equal to w, which implies what we have v equal to w upon 1 plus w. Just add and subtract v upon 1 minus v upon, okay, so what will you get? V equal to w upon 1 plus w. Okay, so now we wish to find out the Jacobian. So Jacobian of dv with respect to dw. So this is a Jacobian of v to w is equal to. So what is the dv? So that is giving the w upon 1 plus w. And by rules of division of differentiation, you can calculate. So just 1 plus w is a constant, derivative of w is 1, minus w is constant, derivative of 1 plus w is also a 1, and divided by 1 plus w square. So this is nothing but, this w is cancelled out with this, so it is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus w square. So this is nothing but the derivative of v with respect to w, or you can say it is a Jacobian. And then it is positive. Okay. So what is the PDF of w? Then the PDF of w is, please unmute mic. Please mute the mic. Aparna. Okay. What is the PDF of W? That is nothing but FW, small w. Is there nothing but the, you can have the PDF of V where G inverse W. And G inverse W, what is the, this is nothing but my G inverse W. Okay, so wherever the v, you have to substitute g inverse w into Jacobian of dv with respect to del v by del w. So what is this? What was the form is given? It is a beta kind 1, so it is a beta p1 comma p2, and it is a kind 1, so we have given the v raised to p minus 1. Okay, so what is the v? Let me write v raised to p minus 1, 1 minus p1, the 1 minus v raised to p2 minus 1. Okay, and this is the del y by del w. Now wherever the v, we have to just substitute the what is the v? It is a w upon 1 plus w raised to p1 minus 1, and this is nothing but the, what is the 1 minus v? It is 1 minus w upon 1 plus w. It is a 1 upon 1 plus w. It is a p2 minus 1, and this is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus w whole square. Okay, so just you can use it, write the all the terms of w together, so it is a w raised to p1 minus 1, and here it is a 1 upon 1 plus w raised to p1 minus 1 plus p2 minus 1, and this is plus 2. So this is minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, that is cancel with the plus 2. So it is nothing but the beta p1 comma p2 w raised to p1 minus 1, and this is nothing but the 1 upon 1 plus w raised to p1 plus p2. So if you can write in this way, w raised to p1 minus 1, 1 plus w raised to p1 plus p2. So this is some known form. What is this form? It is a density of beta kind 2 with shape parameter p1 and p2. Now we have given that the v has 0, then w is, what is the range of w? What is the form of v? V is equal to this. So when the v is equal to 0, then what is the form of w? It is 0.
0.
And when v tends to 1, what is the w? 1 upon 1 minus
Infinity.
1, that is 1 upon, that is infinity. So then w tends to infinity. So that means the range of this is nothing but 0 w less than infinity. So this is nothing but the beta type 2. So based on the transformation of variable technique, you can have to just calculate the Jacobian. If you know the Jacobian and if you write the y is equal to g inverse u form, or you can, if you have a two variables, make some sort of the changes and try to write down the x1 in the form of the u and y x2 in the form of the v, and just replace the variables and use the Jacobian, you can easily obtain the distribution of the transform variable. Any questions up to this? Anyone? If no questions, then we will take one more example, and then I will give you the alternative way to obtain the distribution of the transform distribution of the different function of variables using the probability integral methods. Okay, let us let x, y be independent normal 0 sigma square. That means the distribution of x is normal 0 sigma square and distribution of y is normal 0 sigma square, and it is given that both x and y are independent. Then they have asked the question, find the joint PDF of z is equal to square root of x square plus y square, capital O, and w is equal to x upon y. So they asked that obtain the joint PDF of this. So what is given solution? It is given that x is normal 0 sigma square and y is also normal 0 sigma square. Further, it is given that what is given? What is given? X and y are
Independent.
independent. Okay. So we wish to find out the distribution of z and w. Now, whenever you wish to find out the distribution of z and w, of course, if you are finding the Jacobian from, let us say, z w to xy, okay, what is given? You can just take the derivative of z with respect to x and derivative of w with respect to y, and you can find out the Jacobian of zw. But what is our objective? Our objective is that we have given the value of x and y, and we are interested to find out the Jacobian of xy to zw. So if we find the Jacobian of zw with respect to xi, so whenever we are finding the density of zw, we have to use this Jacobian. We have to just take the inverse of this. Why? Because the value of x and y is given, and we are calculating the Jacobian of xy with respect to zw. There are two ways. If you are using directly from this, otherwise you have to write the x and y in the form of z and w. So there are both the way you can proceed. So I will show you here in this way, and then we take the inverse of Jacobian while calculating the density of zw. Okay, so we know that z is equal to x square plus y square and w equal to x upon y. So what is the Jacobian of zw to xy? It is nothing but del z by del x and del z by del y. Similarly, it is a del z by, sorry, del w by del x and del w by del y. So what is the derivative of z with respect to x? Partial derivative. So it is a square root of x square plus y square. So it is a 1 upon twice of x square plus y square. And what is the derivative of x square plus y square with respect to x? It is a 2x. So 2x will be cancel out. So this 2 cancel out. So I can just directly write this is a x upon root x square plus y square. And similarly, if you take the derivative of partial derivative of z with respect to y, what will you get? The derivative is a 1 upon times of x square root of x square plus y square into 2y. So 2 cancel out, so it is nothing but y upon square root of x square plus y square. Now what is the w? W is a x. So what is the derivative of w with respect to x? So 1 upon y is a constant and partial derivative of w with respect to x is 1. So it is a 1 by y. And what is the derivative of w with respect to y? So x is a constant, 1 upon y derivative is minus 1 by y square. So it is a minus x upon y square. So if you find out this, it is minus x upon y square into
Sir, some students are not able to join.
लेट आए हो गए, हम क्या करें, बोलो उनको ज्वाइन करने के लिए.
Okay, sir.
इसलिए मैं मोबाइल भी शुरू रखा है, रिक्वेस्ट तो आनी चाहिए ना. ओके, माइनस y 1 upon y into y upon square root of x square plus y square. Okay, so you will get here minus x square upon y square into square root of x square plus y square minus this is cancel out, it is a 1 upon square root of x square plus y square. So what will you get? You will get it as a minus x square upon y square minus 1 divided by square root of x square plus y square. And because you are finding the absolute value of Jacobian, it is nothing but x square upon y square, because minus 1 is common, so this is the plus upon square root of x square plus y square. Now what is x upon y? X upon y is a w, so it is a w square plus 1, and x square plus y square is nothing but root of x square plus y square is z.
Good.
So this is a 1 plus w square upon absolute value of z, because we don't know whether the root is positive or negative. Okay. So this is nothing but the Jacobian of zw to xy. But I am interested in the Jacobian. If we say it is a ji, it is nothing but 1 upon j. So this is nothing but the Jacobian is nothing but from xy to zw. Okay. So what is the ji? Ji is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus w square upon z. It is nothing but the z upon 1 plus w square. Okay. If, if z is a positive. If z is greater than 0, then of course there is no issue. So what is given? We have given f of x, y, because x and y are independent, so we can write it f of x into f of y. And what is that x and y are given? It is a normal 0, so sigma square. So this is a 1 upon root 2 pi sigma e raised to minus 1 by 2 x square upon sigma square into, this is also a 1 upon root 2 pi sigma okay, and e raised to minus 1 by 2, this is a y square by sigma square. Okay, so this is given, so we can write it as a 1 upon 2 pi, this is the sigma square e raised to minus half what we can write? E raised to minus half. This is x square sigma square, y square sigma square minus half common, that is x square plus y square upon sigma square. Okay. So now this is what f of xy is given. Okay. Now the joint density of ZW, it is ZW is nothing but, you have to just substitute wherever the x and then it is a Jacobian. So f of xy, it is nothing but the G inverse of W. Suppose if it is G1 function and sorry G1 inverse of Z, and this is a G2 inverse of W, and this is nothing but into Jacobian of Zi, absolute value. So here x square plus y square is nothing but z square. So we can write it as a 1 upon 2 pi sigma square e raised to minus 1 by 2 z square upon sigma square. And what is Jacobian? We have obtained it is a z by 1 plus w square. Is it? Okay, 1 plus w whole square.
Z में मोड़ आएगा बस.
Okay. Okay, so of course x is normal, y is a normal. So what is happen? Z square is x is positive, y is positive, x square is positive, y square is positive, so z is positive. So here the
Positive.
range of z is greater than 0. Okay, and what about w? W is here they said that x is lies between minus infinity to infinity, y is minus infinity to infinity, ratio is, it is also greater than 0. Okay, so this is, you can write this in this form. Okay, so it is nothing but, you can write here because it's absolute value we are taking, so it is a, you can say that because z is a symmetric square root, and if if you have the integration from minus infinity to infinity fx dx, and if f is a symmetric, then what happen? You can write it as a 2 times 0 to infinity fx dx. Okay, so we use these principles, and we can write it as a twice of this. The twice of this is nothing but this 2 will be cancelled out, so it becomes the pi sigma square e raised to minus half z square upon sigma square into 1 upon 1 plus w square. So we can write in this form e raised to minus z is also there, no? This z I am writing here because I am taking the twice of this, so it is z here. So it is nothing but it is z into, you can divide by the sigma square e raised to minus half z square by sigma square. This is one density, and here it is given that now z is greater than 0 into, this is another density, 1 upon pi, it is a 1 plus w square. Okay, now we will see that if x is minus infinity, okay, and y is minus infinity, then what is the w? W is 0. Sorry, it is a infinity. And if x is infinity, y is infinity, then then if both are minus infinitive, then W tends to infinitive. Both are plus
Infinitive.
infinitive, then W tends to infinitive. But if X is negative and Y is positive, then W tends to minus infinitive. Suppose X is positive and Y is negative, then W tends to minus infinity. So that means here not the W greater than 0. The range of W is minus infinity less than W less than infinity. Okay, because of that, we, we have to see all combinations. So if the range of this is nothing but minus infinity to infinity, okay. So what is this distribution? This is nothing but the Z has Rayleigh distribution with parameter sigma square, and W has standard Cauchy with parameters standard Cauchy 0 1. Okay. So this is nothing but the standard Cauchy, and you can see that there is no connection between Z and W. So we can say Z and W are independently distributed. Okay. So what is the distribution? What is our aim? It has been asked that वुड कहाँ जा रहा है आगे वाला सब अभी लिखा था ना सब कहीं और लिख रहे हैं क्या आप ओके ठीक है सो we have been asked to find out the distribution of Z and W. So what is the distribution of Z? Distribution Z is nothing but Rayleigh distribution. And what is the distribution of W? It is a Cauchy. So whenever you are giving the NET and set examination or any ISS examination, sometimes directly result are that if X has the normal 0 sigma square, Y has the normal 0 sigma square, then what is the distribution of the Z is equal to root x square plus y square. So it is a Rayleigh distribution with scale parameter sigma square. Suppose it is given normal 0 1, then it is a standard Rayleigh distribution where the sigma square scale parameter is 1. And what is the distribution of the ratio of two standard normal is nothing but Cauchy distribution. Similarly, we are saying that the square of standard normal is chi-square, and the ratio of standard normal to square root of chi-square divided by corresponding degree of freedom is t. Ratio of two independent chi-square is f. Okay. So similarly, if we have the basic distribution and if uh, we wish to obtain the distribution of others, so we obtain it by the transformation variable technique. But you can directly remember this result. If x and y are standard normal sigma 0 sigma square, then what is the distribution of W? It is a standard Cauchy. Okay. So these are the results are very useful. Suppose if you have an examination and I don't know about the when the pen and paper examination will be there, but suppose if it is a MCQ is asked, then I can ask the such MCQ that if the distribution of x and y are normal 0 sigma square and both x and y are independently distributed, then what is the distribution of z is equal to root x square plus y square? What is the distribution of w, that is the x upon y? Something like that. What is the distribution of x plus y? What is the distribution of x upon x plus y? So you can derive it. Okay, or you can solve many examples and you can have the ready-made results. Alternatively, this problem can be solved using polar transformation. Alternatively, we obtain density of z is equal to square root of x square plus y square, and w is equal to x by y using polar transformation. So we know that when x square plus y square, it is nothing but it is talking about the circle. Okay. So if you write x square plus y square equal to z square, it is nothing but the form of the circle. So when you talk about the circle, okay, this is the radius. What is the radius? This is your center, and this is nothing but the square root of x square plus y square. Z is your radius. Okay. So whenever you have a circle, so of course you wish to make some angles, and this angle is a theta. So we are just transforming x and y into the theta. So what is the range of theta? Theta is always lies between 0 to 2 pi, because the entire circle is nothing but the 0 to 2 pi. So what are the transformation, polar transformation you can use? The polar transformation from xy to z theta. So what is that transformation form? We can take x equal to z cos theta and y equal to z sin theta. So you can see that if you take x square plus y square, what is that? It is nothing but the z square into cos square theta plus sin square theta. And what is the cos square theta plus sin square theta? It is a 1. Okay. So we can have the transformation square root of x square plus y square is nothing but z. And what about the x by y? X upon y is nothing but r cos theta upon, sorry, not r, z cos theta upon z sin theta. It is nothing but the z will be cancelled out, provided z is not 0, and cos theta upon sin theta is nothing but cot theta. And we call them as x upon y is nothing but w. So w is equal to cot theta. Okay. So if you, we know that when theta equal to 0, what happened to the cos theta? What happened to cos theta? And what happened sin theta? What is the cos 0? Sin, sin 0 is 0.
0.
Cos 0,
1. 1.
1.
1.
Pakka. Okay. So what about the 1 upon 0? It is a, then which implies cot theta is
Infinity.
infinity. If you take theta equal to 2 pi, then again cos 2 pi is
0.
cos 2 pi is 0, sin 2 pi is also 0. So that means you can have the again the cot 2 pi is infinity. But what happened to the minus pi by 2 to pi by 2? If you divide the circle into the two parts, let us say this is 0 t, sorry, 0 to 2 pi. Okay, and it is pi, 2 pi, likewise n pi, everything is, and it is minus pi by 2, pi by 2. So if you divide this circle in two parts, so can I write it is a range as 0 to minus pi by 2, twice of minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And at the cos minus pi by 2, it is nothing but minus infinity. and cot pi by 2 is a infinitive. So that is it a twice of you can have a minus infinity to infinity. That means the range of W is from minus infinity to infinity. So what we do, we first find out the Jacobian of xy to z theta. So what is that? It is del x by del z, then del x by del theta. Then you can have the del y by del z, del y by del theta. So what is del x by del z? So we have given that what is x? It is a z cos theta. So with respect to z, it is a cos theta. And with respect to theta, it is a cos theta derivative with respect to theta is minus sine theta. So it is a minus z sine theta. And what is the y? Y is a r sine theta. So what is the, sorry, z sine theta. So what is the derivative of y with respect to z? It is a sine theta. And what is the derivative of z sine theta with respect to theta? It is a z cos theta. So what happens? You just take the determinant, so it is the multiply the diagonal z cos square theta minus minus plus it is a z sine square theta. So it is nothing but the z, because cos square theta plus sine square theta is, so Jacobian is nothing but the z. Therefore f of z theta is nothing but, so what is given? We have given that x and y are normal. So we can write it is a 1 pi 2 sigma square, normal 0 sigma square. And we have given the e raised to minus half x square plus by 2 z square by sigma square. Okay. And what else you can write? The Jacobian is z. Okay. So here it is given that the theta has lies between 0 to 2 pi. Okay. And what is the z? Z is lies between minus infinity to infinity. Okay. And if you can, it is a twice of this. So you can write it a twice of, because it is a symmetric. So it is a twice of 0 to infinity. So and of course you can have the dz d theta. So what we will get, it is a 1 upon sigma square e raised to minus half z square by sigma square into z is also there, z is here, into 1 upon 2 pi, because 2 into pi is there. And here it is given that z is greater than 0 and theta is lies between 0 to 2 pi. So what is the distribution of z? Z is nothing but the Rayleigh with sigma square, and we have given that theta. What is the distribution of theta is given? Here it is a 1 upon 2 pi. So we wish to find out the distribution of W. So it is nothing but f of theta G inverse W, okay, into dW with respect to d theta. That is the Jacobian. So 1 upon theta, so you can say that when you substitute here, it is a 1 upon as it is because there is no theta term here. And what is dw theta? What is the w? W is equal to, you have written cot theta. And what is the derivative of cot theta? Any idea? Derivative of cot theta is nothing but the sec square theta. And sec square theta equal to what you write? It is a
1 by cos square.
1 plus cot square. Is it?
1 by cos square theta.
1 by cot square theta. Okay. So here we have to have a derivative of theta with respect to w. So I have to take inverse here. So this is minus, this is minus. So it is a 1 upon 2 pi into 1 upon 1 plus cot square theta. And cot theta is equal to w. It is a 1 upon twice p into 1 upon 1 plus w square. But as I say that theta is lies between 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so if I have to convert into the minus pi by 2 pi by 2, so it is a minus pi by 2 less than theta less than pi by 2. So it is a twice of that. And when I'm saying that this is the minus pi by 2, cot minus pi by 2 is minus infinity. And this is the w, this is the infinity. Okay, so it is a twice of. This twice will be cancelled with this. So we can have the fw, w is equal to 1 upon pi into 1 plus w square. And this is nothing but Cauchy distribution, standard Cauchy. Earlier we have obtained the distribution of z is nothing but Rayleigh, and here it is a Cauchy. And you can say that both are independently distributed. So both the way you can go, you can use the polar transformation methods or the transformation of variable methods. But the transformation variable method is more easy than the polar transformation, because in polar you have to have a good knowledge of the trigonometry. Otherwise, you will be in the trouble. So it is better that you should always go with the transformation variable
Transform.
technique rather than the polar transformation. Okay. So this is what we talk about the two variables. But suppose if you have a more variables, then we have to obtain the Jacobian of 2. Okay. But suppose if we have more variables, then we have to obtain the Jacobian of several variables. So let me introduce one theorem without proof. Let x1, x2, xn be n-dimensional random vectors. So it is a n-dimensional random vector. You can write in this way also. x1, x2, xn. This is the n-dimensional random vector of the continuous type with PDF f of x1, x2, xn. Okay. So x1, x2, xn is a random vector with the joint PDF is given by f of x1, x2, xn. Let u1 equal to, u1 is a some function of x1, x2, xn. So u1 equal to g1 of x1, x2, xn. u2 equal to another function of x1, x2, xn. Likewise, un. is some another function of, it is a gn x1 x2 xn. So we are transforming x1 x2 xn to the u1 u2 un. Okay, so there are n variables and there are n functions. B one to one mapping of Rn into Rn. Why Rn? Because real line to real line. So x1, x2, xn are on the Rn. x1 is from the real line, x2 is on the real line because it is a vector, so it is a Rn. Sometimes people are also writing Rn in this way. Both are the same. Okay. So it is a Rn to Rn function. That means Rn to Rn. And their inverse transformation exists. Okay. So what is the inverse transformation? X1 is a sum function, let us say h1 of u1, u2, un. Earlier we used to write x equal to g inverse y. So here g inverse is nothing but the h1. So that means g1 inverse is h1. x2 is nothing but g2 inverse, that is h2 of u1, u2, un. And likewise xn is nothing but hn u1, u2, un. So suppose you have a one-to-one mapping is there and G1, G2, Gn are invertible. Assume that both mapping and its inverse are continuous. So mapping is it also continuous and inverse is also continuous. See, assume that the partial derivatives so xi with respect to uj, I j lies between 1 to n exist. So that means you can able to find out the partial derivatives and are continuous. Same whatever we have written for the two variables, we are extending for the several variables. D. Assume that the Jacobian J of inverse. Which inverse? We have given the x1, x2, xn and we are just taking the partial derivative of x1, x2, xn with respect to u1, u2, un. And how will you obtain this? That you can obtain by, this is your partial derivatives. Okay, it is a u1, u2, un and x1, x2, xn. So you have to just take the derivative of x1 with respect to u1, x2 with respect to u2, xn with respect to un. And similarly, xn with respect to u1, xn with respect to u2, xn with respect to un. So this is the partial derivatives are exist. Then the random variables because we have measured the u1, u2. Small u1, u2 are un is nothing but its value, and variable is capital has a joint absolute continuous distribution. Function with PDF is given by W. Suppose joint PDF is written as W, which is U1, U2, Un, which is nothing but f of the U1 equal to, you can write as a, sorry, this is the x1, x2, xn. X1 equal to, you have write h1, u1, u2, un. X2 is nothing but h2, u1, u2, un. Likewise, hn, u1, u2, un, and the Jacobian is j. So this is where you can obtain. Suppose you have given that x1, x2 having the random variables and dimensional vectors having the joint PDF is given by this, and if you can write, if you wish to find out the distribution of u1, u2 up to un, where u1 is nothing but g1 of x1, x2, xn, u2 is a g2 function of x1, x2, xn, and un is a nth function, that is gn. It is a function of x1, x2, xn, and it is given that the mapping is from Rn to Rn, and the inverse transformation exists. It is given by x1 equal to h1 u1 u2 un, x2 is equal to h2 u1 u2 un. Likewise, xn is nothing but hn u1 u2 un. Okay, and further the both mapping and inverse are continuous is given, and assume that the partial derivatives are exist and they are continuous, then the Jacobian of the inverse transformation from x1, x2, xn to u1, u2, un. It is also written in this way: x1, x2, xn to u1, u2, un is given by this. Then the joint density of random variable u1, u2, un is given by, let us say, w of this is nothing but f of this into Jacobian j. So let us understand with one examples. Let x1, x2, x3 be IID. IID means identically independently distributed. That means they are independent and they have the same distribution with the common mean and common variance. Random variables with fx equal to e raised to minus x. That means what is the distribution of x1? It is e raised to minus x1. What is the distribution of x2? It is a e raised to minus x2. And similarly, x3 has the density e raised to minus x3. And all x1, x2, x3 are independent. So this is a standard exponential is given. Okay. That is all xi follows standard exponential with me parameter 1. It is standard exponential and they are independently distributed. Okay. Then find y1 equal to distribute density of the y1 equal to x1 plus x2 x3, y2 equal to x1 upon x1 plus x2 upon x1 plus x2 plus x3, and y3 equal to x1 upon x1 plus x2. Find the joint density of Okay, so we wish to find out the joint density of this. So you can see that there are three variables are given, and the y1, y2, y3 are also three function of x1, x2, x3. So this is the g1, this is the g2, and this is the g3. It is a function of x1, x2, x3. So what is given? It is given that xi follows fxi, and this is nothing but d e raised to minus xi, I equal to 1 to 3, and x1, x2, and x3 are independently distributed. Okay, so I wish to find out the Jacobian. How to find out the Jacobian? I have given that it is given that y1 equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3, y2 equal to, what is that? It is a x1 plus x2 upon x1 plus x2 plus x3, and y3 equal to x1 upon x1 plus x2. Okay, so what is x1? Therefore x1 equal to x2 equal to and x3 equal to, because I have to write the function of x1 in the form of a y1, y2, y3. So what is x1? Can anyone suggest what is x1?
y1 into y3.
y1 into
y3.
y3. So how it is? y1 has x1 plus x2 plus x3. y3 has x1 upon x1 plus x2. So can you write y1 into y2 equal to y3? This will cancel out with this. This will cancel out with this. So x1 becomes y1 into y2 into y3. What is x2? If you are multiplying y1 with this, y1, y2, what happens? You will have a x1 plus x2. Okay. And if you multiply x1 plus x2 with, what will you get? y1 plus y2, what is that? y1 into y2 is, it is nothing but x1 plus x2. Okay. But what is the x1 plus x2? This is nothing but you can have x1 plus x2. Okay. And if you multiply with this 1 minus y3, 1 minus y3 is 1 minus x1 upon x1 plus x2. So that is x1 cancel out, it is x2 upon x1 plus x2. So this is cancel out. So you will get x2. So it is a 1 minus y3. And what is x3? So y1 is here. If you subtract 1 minus y2, x1 plus x2, x3 cancel out with this. It is x3 upon x1 plus x2, x3. So it is a y1 into 1 minus y2. You can try it. Okay, so this is, you have transfer. Now we have to find out the Jacobian. So Jacobian of del x1 by del y1, del x2 by del y1, del x3 by del y1. Then del x1 by del y2, del x2 by del y2, and del x3 by del y3. Similarly, del x1 by del y3, sorry, here it is y2. is y3, del x2 by del y3. This is del x3 by del y3. So what is that? If you are multiplying, if you are taking derivative with respect to x1 with respect to y1, it is a y2 y3. Similarly, with respect to x2 with respect to y1, it is a y2 into 1 minus y3, and what is this? X3 with respect to y1 is a 1 minus y2. Okay. Similarly, x1 with respect to y2 will, what will you get? It is a y1 y3, and x1 with respect to y3 it is a y1 y2. Similarly, x2 with respect to y2, what is that? It is a y1 into 1 minus y3, and here x2 with respect to y3, it is nothing but minus y1 y2. Similarly, x3 with respect to y2, what is that? It is a minus y1. Okay, y1 is constant, 1 minus y2, it is minus y1. Okay, and then with respect to y3, it is a 0. So when you solve this, the Jacobian answer is minus y1 square y2. So therefore, absolute value of Jacobian is y1 square y2. Okay. So what is the joint density of y1, y2, y3? It is f1, y1, y2, y3 of y1, y2, y3 is nothing but, what is given? We have given that e raised to minus x1, but x1 की जगह पे क्या लिख सकते हैं? Or let me write this for better understanding. It is given f of x1, x2, x3, x1, x2, x3 is equal to e raised to minus x1, e raised to minus x2, e raised to minus x3. All are independent. ये दिया है हमें. Okay. So is equal to, you can write minus x1 plus x2 plus x3. So what is the density of y1, y2, y3? y1, y2, y3. What is that? It is a e raised to, wherever the x1, x2, x3, you have to substitute the x1 plus x2, x3 is nothing but y1. And what is the Jacobian? So Jacobian is nothing but e raised to minus y1 into y1 square y2, na? It is y1 square y2. So this is nothing but the joint density of this. So you can also write in this way. If you multiply 2y2 is equal to half of y1 square into e raised to minus y1. Can you write? Okay. What is the range of x 0 to infinity? So what is the range of y1? If x is 0 to infinity, then y1 is nothing but the sum of this. It is also a 0 to infinity. What about y2? y2 is lies between, it is a 0 to 1 because it is a ratio. 0 by 0 and infinity by infinity is 1. So y2 is lies between 0 to 1, and similarly y3 is also lies between 0 to 1. So here the range is 0 to 1, and here it is a 0 to infinity. So can you see this as the, what is the form? What is the distribution this stands for? It is chi-square with half. Is it? Sorry, chi-square with 2 degree of freedom. Because what is the distribution of chi-square? chi square n is nothing but 1 upon 2 raised to n by 2, is it? Y raised to n by 2 minus 1. What is that? E raised to minus e raised to minus y by 2, no? This is something, no. Forget about this. So this is what the joint, our aim is that find out the joint density of y1, y2, y3. So what is the joint density of y3? What is y3? It is a 1. Okay. So can we say that it is a y3 is also lies between 0 to 1? Okay. Okay. So any questions so far? If that's no question, then